Gallup with Thunder. Mark, just from the way that you guys came out of the gates, did you feel like this was a step forward after a long travel night from maybe the long travel night you had going into Atlanta? Was that kind of crossing your mind as you guys responded the way you did to the start of this one?
Yeah, I thought we cleared a couple of hurdles tonight. I thought the first one was the start of the game and how ready we were to play and the energy we were able to generate. Obviously with a tough schedule, which is a step forward. It's mind over matter. And then the other hurdle was playing with a lead. I thought we were able to build obviously a pretty good lead, and I thought we played pretty well with the lead, both ends of the floor, which we've had leads in the past. We've done that well. We've done that poorly at different times, and those were the two challenges that we had before and in the game tonight. And I thought the guys did a great job there.
You often talk about guys, J-Dub's just effort level. He had a couple plays, big long rebounds that he tracked down in like the first 2 or 3 minutes. Do you feel those plays as being kind of catalyzers for a team in a night like this?
Yeah, those are huge, and I think when you're on the second night of a back-to-back or in a condensed travel situation, like beating the other team to the ball, is a good start. It's something as simple as that. That's a tangible way to express energy. Is like just get to the ball. Force yourself to get to the ball. That was a challenge that we laid out before the game, and again, the guys did a really good job of that, especially early.
Mark, you talk about playing with a lead, and I think the thing that on the second night of a back-to-back, when you come out in that second half, I think that's a place where sometimes a game could get away, not get away from you in terms of losing a lead, but just
like
get
sloppy.
Yeah. Did you like that you didn't see a ton of that there in the third quarter?
Yeah, that was the challenge coming out of halftime. Obviously, not playing the scoreboard, and having the maturity to understand that no minute should go wasted. We're building habits regardless of the circumstances, and that group did a really good job. They knew they weren't going to be out there very long, and were challenged to play the right way, and they did.
It's also shot the ball really well from the free throw line, which had not been the case as much on the road trip. Is there anything consistent there that you saw?
Like free throw shooting?
Yeah, like when you guys were struggling there on the road.
I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, just presence. I don't coach that. So, among a lot of other things, I don't coach, like basketball.
Andrew Schleck with The Athletic. You now coach the team with the largest margin of defeat in Thunder history and the largest margin of victory. Can you tell me what the journey has been from there to here for you?
That was an important game for us. I thought we learned a lot of lessons in that game. You learn that it's one game. It's a true 0-0 thing when you come out of that thing. You learn that the sun comes up the next day. You have practice the next day. I think in competition's hard, and fear is something that is an emotion that you feel in competition, and that's like your worst nightmare, that game. But the image of it, or the fear of it, is worse than the reality of it. The reality of it is you lose the game, you taste your own blood, and then you wake up the next day and you're 0-0. You have practice, you got another game coming. So we learned a lot from that. I thought it built some good fortitude in the team, and some good scars, to the point where now it's kind of a badge of honor. We don't talk about it, but I mean, we endured obviously a lot of struggle, and that brings integrity to future experiences, and we're probably better, not only with that game, but we're probably better because of the struggles we've endured, and we'll endure more struggles, and we'll be better because of those if we handle them the same way.
Who else we got? We got Michael and then Cliff over there. Dino.
Following up on Andrew's question, mentioning that going from the largest margin of losing to biggest winning, was there any thought of chasing that record from you guys?
That's our record. We weren't chasing that.
Hey, Coach Art, which one of these impresses you most or means more to you, the 139 or the 77 allowed?
I mean, there's always noise in the score of an individual game. There's shot making noise. I thought they missed shots early. I thought they missed shots in the third. They had some decent looks that they missed. They're in the midst of a road trip. We saw them in New York. We were staying at the same hotel. So I mean, they're on the road. They're down a couple guys. So it's hard to evaluate the 77. Just like we played Washington the other night, and I thought we drummed up pretty good energy in that game, and they shot the hell out of the ball. And the defensive output on paper didn't look great, but I actually thought we turned a corner in terms of effort in that game. And so proud of the way that we handled the challenges tonight. Like I mentioned at the beginning, you know, being ready to play, you know, we cleared that hurdle. Playing with the lead, we cleared that one. What the score ends up being, you know, is just one game.
Mark, is this kind of a sign of this team? I mean, it was a night where, I mean, I think you had 40 assists, and it just seemed like the guys were trying to one-up each other with terrific assists. I thought some of the bounce passes were tremendous.
Yeah, I think, you know, if you look at some of the best assists that we have as a team, there's always like a setup pass, you know, that it's an advanced pass or it's a ball reversal. That's an invisible pass, you know, it doesn't count for an assist, it doesn't show up in a box score, but those are the passes we're most proud of because they're sacrificial in nature. You truly are playing the game and playing for the team when you make those plays, and the group's done a great job for a long stretch of time now of making those types of plays. We're not perfect on a given possession, but we've got kind of a contagiousness around that right now, and it's making us very difficult to guard. And I think the guys are gaining confidence and momentum from that offensively.
Yeah, Mark, Chauncey Billups just called you guys an elite team. Do you agree with that? And second of all, the leap you've made 2 years ago to last year was significant. Now you're making a similar significant leap, which seemed like a very difficult thing to do, to improve that much 2 straight years. How difficult is that, and did you see that coming?
I have no expectations, so I didn't see it coming. I did not see it coming. I didn't have an expectation for it. And I really, honestly, I think, you know, it's all about stacking. It's all about, you know, stacking days, stacking reps, stacking possessions, stacking games, stacking weeks, and being very present in that process, and just giving your all to every single rep, day, possession, game, and just seeing where that lands you. And if you commit to that process, which our team's done a very good job of for not only this year but for a long time, you're gonna end up where you're supposed to be, and wherever that lands us, we'll be able to put our head on the pillow at night. I don't know what description that lands us. You know, we're just gonna do our best every single day. We're gonna stack possessions again on Saturday, stack games, and let that win the day. And wherever we end up, we end up. That's honestly how I look at it. Not to punt on your question.
Deontay just played in his 3rd straight game. You've done it before with Trey Mann. What goes into that decision making to kind of push a guy to play 3 in a row?
Yeah, it's tough, you know, and he ended up playing more than I would have expected, obviously. But we dressed him for that reason. On a back-to-back, you never know what's going to happen, and wanted him to be available. I give him a lot of credit because he's just been parked, you know, with the G League. He's done a great job with his development plan. You know, hasn't gotten an NBA minute really yet, other than the preseason. You know, and we call him today and tell him that he's active and he's like grateful for the opportunity, you know, and plays like it. So I have a lot of respect for how he's handled himself up until this point. He's gotten better as a result of that approach. He's just got a great, you know, spirit of humility and hard work. You know, he's a blue collar guy, player, and he's done a great job so far. I was happy to see him out there.
You mentioned you don't coach free throws. How do you divvy up the responsibilities among your staff?
With free throws?
No, it's just everything in basketball and life.
And it's a loaded question, but they have work to do every day when they show up. They got stuff to do. The only one that's faking, there's one person faking it, and I'm not going to tell you who that is.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I can see it.